Sevoid scorn, indulgence redefined.
So PW9 Shahina Begum that police burned the dead body of her son along with some other dead bodies in Ashulia of Dhaka. PW10 MD Enab Nazez Zaki also stated that his son was killed and then the dead body was burnt by police in Ashulia. We find from the testimony of PW10 Asabur was shot dead and set ablaze. It appears from the testimony of PW13 Dr. Muhammad Mahfuz Rahman that most patients admitted to the hospital had no skull. The detective branch members had forbidden the doctors not to be serious in the treatment of the protesting patients and also that they had been instructed from the higher authorities not to release the protester patients admitted there. The patients were mostly aged 13 to 30 years. The DB also asked the doctors not to admit any more patients injured in the movement. This witness also said that in order to hide the injured patients from the sight of DB personnel, the doctors adopted some tactic like changing the names of the patients and the type of injury in the admission register and recording road accident or other reasons instead of bullet wounds. It appears from the evidence of PW15 Dr. Hassanul Banna that police and Awami League activists prevented treatment of the protester patients, prohibited new admission of such patients, checked admission register, took away a list of patients, set down entrance of the hospital and prevented entrance and exit of the ambulances and patients. This witness also said that one patient named Mustaqin Billah was admitted through an alternative entrance. To save the protester patients, the doctors had to change the name of the patients and particular of their problems, remove them from the general ward to the post-operative ward, ICU special cabin. He added that treatment was given to such patients at risk of life of the doctors. We find from the deposition of PW18 Dr. Razibul Islam that he was forced to change the post-mortem report of Abu Said 4 to 5 times. He was threatened with the saying that if he does not change the cause of death of Abu Said, he would be prosecuted. He was further told that there was an intelligence report against him. PW19 Shariful Islam was injured in the bombardment in Kustia. 62 pellets were removed from his body and 500 more still in his body. It is revealed from the evidence of PW21 Dr. Zakia Sultana that on 18 July 2024 they received 200 patients aged about 14 to 25 years with bullet injuries. On 19 July 2024 also similar number of injuries were admitted on 4th, 5th, 6th August 2024. It further appears from the evidence of this witness that out of episode patients, 493 lost one eye forever, 11 lost both eyes forever, 28 lost vision of both eyes, and 47 lost vision of one eye. It appears from the evidence of PW22 Mr. Idris that while his son
Mr. Noodles, amazing taste.
policeman poked the wounded area of his son with the rifle butt. PW23 Amena Akhtar deposed that while Home Minister Asaduzzaman Kamal and IGP Chaudhry Abdullah Mamun were passing across Datrabari, one police officer was showing them a video of their attacks on protesters and said, "Guli kori ekta মরে একটা, আহত হয় একটা, একটাই যায়, বাকিটা যায় না। It transpires from the testimony of PW27, Dr. Mashuk Ahmed, that Satrolik activists stopped ambulance carrying protesting wounded near Shahidullah Hall of Dhaka University. They also checked the patient identity, asked the doctors not to treat the wounded protesters and also not to be so serious in their treatment. He further said 5 doctors were transferred elsewhere due to rendering treatment to protesters with bullet injuries. This witness also stated that the direction of the gunshot wounds of the patients treated on 19, 20, 21 July and 4-5 August in Dhaka Medical College Hospital was from the top to the bottom. He meant that the gunshot was done from above, which obviously imply helicopter. It appears from the evidence of PW47 Nahid Islam deposed that bullets were fired from helicopter and that many false cases were filed against the protesters, and also that the activists of Awami League, Jubo League and Chhatro League prevented the treatment and burial of protesters. Furthermore, some of the protesters were forcibly disappeared and many dead bodies of the protesters were concealed. He himself and some other student leaders were abducted. PW48 Ali Ahsan Junaid stated that on 15 July 2024, Chhatro League activists brutally attacked and injured the Dhaka University students, hindered going to the hospital and tortured them in the hospital. He further said that the protesters were fired from the helicopter. We find from the evidence of PW54, Mr. MD Alamgir, investigating officer, that the protester named as Ashabul Yamin was thrown down from the APC by the police. Summing up by the learned Chief Prosecutor. The learned Chief Prosecutor advanced argument on conclusion of the testimonies of the prosecution witnesses. He submitted that the instant case is an unprecedented and unexceptional one in the history of this subcontinent. After achieving independence in 1971, the people of the country had a great expectation and belief that all sorts of sufferings, poverty, tyranny and high-handedness of the government and the mighty quarters would come to an end and people would enjoy liberty, happiness and all fundamental rights, but all these have been doomed to ashes. The learned prosecutor dubbed the ruling party Awami League as fascist ab initio. From the very inception of independent Bangladesh, the Awami League government concentrated to perpetuate its power by way of exploitation, torture, killing, abduction, denial of democracy and fundamental rights of the people, freedom of press and speech, as well as social justice, and thereupon established dictatorship by forming Bhakshal. The then Awami League government, led by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, planned in connivance with a neighboring country to weaken and abolish our glorious army and thus formed Rakhi Bahini, an armed organized parallel to the army. In the like way, after coming to the power in Sheikh Hasina's government committed the same acts like torture, abduction, killing, false prosecution, imprisoning, confinement, enforced disappearances, so dominated judiciary, restricted the freedom of press and freedom of speech. Sheikh Hasina oppressed the critics writers, journalists, members of civil societies, lawyers, and judges, and ousted many of them from the country. The then Chief Justice Sheikh S.K. Sinha, eminent writer and journalist, as well as historian Mahmudur Rahman, politician and journalist Pinaki Bhattacharya, Shafiq Rahman, Ilyas Hussain, Kanak Sarwar, Mushfiqul Fazl Ansari, Oliullah Numan, Shahed Alam, Jawad Nirjor, Tasneem Khalil, Julkarnain Shaer, Barrister Abdul Razzaq were driven out of the country for speaking the truth and criticizing the government's misrule, oppression and loopholes. In 2008, with Sheikh Hasina's conspiracy as that of her father, 57 senior army officers, while an deputation in Bangladesh Border Guard, that is BGB, were killed in an official congregation of Pilkhana BGB headquarters by the Awami League leaders and loyal army officers. Thereafter, no action was taken against those killers. In 2013, the law enforcers and the ruling party activists killed hundreds of innocent young and underage madrasa students in a congregation arranged by Islamic organization Hifazat-e-Islam at Shapla Chattor, Dhaka, without any cogent reasons, and thereafter no action was taken against the killers. For perpetuating her power, accused Sheikh Hasina politicized judiciary, army, law enforcing agencies, bureaucracies, and all other departments subservient of herself and her government. With the ulterior motive of remaining in power for long, Sheikh Hasina obtaining a verdict from the court given by her loyal judges headed by Chief Justice A.B.M. Khairul Haq, now in jail, abolished the most popular and well-settled electoral system under caretaker government, held an expert election in 2014, ignoring the participation and demands of the opposition parties, and in that election 153 candidates were elected without any vote. Again, a farcical election was held in 2018, in which ballot boxes were filled up in the night preceding the day of election, without carrying the demands of the opposition parties for holding election by a caretaker government for the sake of security, fairness and transparency. Accused Sheikh Hasina held another farcical ex-party election known as dummy election in January 2024 without allowing the political parties to participate. In 2024, the students launched a movement claiming reformation in the quota system in government jobs. They particularly
বাহ, ফিনিশিংটা সুন্দর না? কি খুঁজছো?
সুন্দর আয়না দেখলে আমার টিপ পড়তে ইচ্ছে হয়। গাড়ি,
আমাদের গাড়ি।
রিগাল ফার্নিচার কিনে পাচ্ছেন গাড়ি জেতার সুবর্ণ সুযোগ। এছাড়াও থাকছে নির্দিষ্ট ফার্নিচারে আকর্ষণীয় মূল্য ছাড়। আজই চলে আসুন আপনার কাছের রিগাল এম্পোরিয়ামে। রিগাল এম্পোরিয়াম।
to 5% from 56%. Instead of fulfilling the demand of the students or speaking with them on the issue, Sheikh Hasina, in a press conference on 14 July 2024, made a derogatory comment pointing towards the students of Kota movement, saying, Mukti Juddhar Nati Putira Chakri Pabe Nato Ki Rajakarer Nati Putira Chakri Pabe. Whereupon the student of Dhaka University got extremely agitated and assembled at Raju Bhaskurjo in front of TSC of Dhaka University, where they protested against Sheikh Hasina's humiliating comment and demanded her apology. Meanwhile, Awami League Secretary and Cabinet Minister Obaidul Kader and Chhatra League Jubo League leaders stated in their party meeting that Chhatra League was enough to control the protesting students, and thus the agitation spread out in all other educational institutes throughout the country. The armed activists of Chhatra League and Jubo League attacked all on a sudden upon the protesting students with deadly weapons at the midnight, causing 297 of them injured and hospitalized. Moreover, the said terrorists hindered the injured students from going to the hospital, and furthermore, they also attacked the injured students in the hospital. From 16 July 2024, the Chhatra League and Jubo League terrorists, along with the law enforcers, killed and injured many students at various parts of the country. On 16 July 2024, as part of the widespread and systematic attack, student Abu Said of Rangpur Begum Ruqayya University was repeatedly shot at a close range by police, causing his death and also injured many protesting students. Accused Sheikh Hasina ordered the law enforcers and the activists of Awami League, Chhatra League and Jubo League to use drone, helicopter, lethal weapons to kill the protesters, and accordingly, from 18 July to 1st August 2024, they killed hundreds of protesters and injured thousands throughout the country by using drone, helicopter and various types of lethal weapons. As part of the widespread and systematic attack, in pursuance of the incitement and order of accused Sheikh Hasina and direct participation, abatement order and supervision of accused Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal and Inspector General of Police Chaudhry Abdullah Mamun, 6 protesters were brutally killed and many were seriously injured with lethal weapon by police at Sankarpur on 5th August 2024. Similarly, the law enforcers and activists of Awami League, Chhatra League and Jubo League killed 6 persons at Ashulia with lethal weapons on 5th August 2024. One of the 6 was unidentified. After being shot dead, police inhumanly burned the dead bodies. Before being burned, the dead body unidentified protesters was alive. The learned chief prosecutor submitted that the family members of the martyrs, the injured victims and other witnesses proved the opposite occurrences. The said occurrences were also recorded in videos and audios which have been played in the tribunal. The conversations recorded in DVD, CD and the videos of the occurrences have been examined by the CID experts, who found that the said conversations and videos are not generated by artificial intelligence. In addition to the incitement, order, participation of the accused in the alleged atrocities, the accused are liable for their abstention from taking measures for the prevention of the same or taking any punitive measures against the doers thereof. Being the Prime Minister, accused Sheikh Hasina was the Supreme Commander of the law enforcing agencies, inclusive of the Home Minister and the Inspector General of Police, and as such, the crimes against humanity in question could not take place without the involvement, express or tacit of them. The learned chief prosecutor added that the movement of the students continued for 36 days, during which, as stated herein before, hundreds of protesting students and common people were killed and thousands were seriously injured, most of whom became permanently handicapped and blind. But accused Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and the other accused and none of the government authorities or the leaders of the ruling party Awami League expressed concern or remorse for such atrocities so far. Accused Sheikh Hasina, instead of expressing remorse or seeking apology for the said crimes,
রুই মাছ 2টা, মুরগি 2 কেজি, রসুন, কি হলো, দারুচিনি, এলাচ। আরে মশলার যা খরচ, মাছ মাংস কিনবো কিভাবে?
আলাদা আলাদা করে কিনলে তো খরচ বাড়বেই, তার চেয়ে ভালো রাঁধুনি রেডিমিক্স।
খরচ এত কম
কিন্তু স্বাদ অনেক বেশি। রাঁধুনি রেডিমিক্স, খরচ কম, স্বাদ বেশি।
as well as the tribunal personnel, inclusive of the prosecutors, to kill 226 persons and burn the houses of the rival party leaders and activists in an audio conversation with one of her party activists, for which the tribunal drew a contempt proceeding against her. In the said proceeding, the tribunal convicted Sheikh Hasina and sentenced her with 6 months imprisonment. The accused committed crimes against humanity jointly by their incitement, order, abatement, participation and inaction, which come within the purview of joint criminal enterprise and superior command responsibility. The authorities in question were widespread and systematic and was atrocities. The atrocities in question were widespread and systematic, and it was directed against the civilian population. The learned chief prosecutor concluded his submission with the saying that in the circumstances it has been proved and established beyond reasonable doubt that the accused committed the crimes against humanity by their incitement, order, participation, abatement and also inaction, whereupon they deserve the maximum punishment as prescribed by section 3 subsection 2 A, G, H and section 4 subsection 1 subsection 2A, 4.2b, 4.2c and 4.3 of the International Crimes Tribunal Act 1973. He added that the evidences against the accused are so strong and adequate that if they are tried in any other court or tribunal in the world, they would be awarded the maximum punishment. It may be noted here that the learned prosecutor Mr. Sheikh Mahdi assisted the chief prosecutor by referring a number of decisions of different international tribunals. In the summing up session, the learned Attorney General of Bangladesh appeared and shared the concluding submission. In his submission, the learned Attorney General referred to the conviction and sentence of many of the heads of government and states in the world for their commission of crimes against humanity, and thereupon he asked for awarding maximum punishment to the accused of the instant case so that no other Prime Minister or the head of state recur such atrocities in the days to come. Summing up by the learned State Defence, Mr. Amir Hussain, the learned State Defence Council argued that accused Sheikh Hasina and Asaduzzaman Kamal are quite innocent. The accused did not incite or order or participate or abet the commission of the crimes against humanity in question. The trial itself against the accused under the International Crimes Tribunal Act 1973 is unlawful since the act was passed for the purpose of trial of the persons who committed genocide in 1971. Allegedly, the atrocities spread throughout the country, but the prosecution failed to examine witnesses of all the districts where atrocities took place. The Learned Defense Council submitted that no helicopter was used to kill the protesting students and public in the July-August movement 2024. The audio conversations in questions have not been duly examined by the experts. Although the audios have been examined by CID, the same should have been examined by some more experts. He questioned the prosecution's claim as to the number of the deaths and injured. He stated that although the prosecution claimed that 1,500 protesters died and 25,000 injured, but the Gazette notifications of the government shows the number of dead protesters as about 800. He emphatically asserted that accused Sheikh Hasina did neither incite nor order nor take part in the alleged atrocities or crimes against humanity. Mr. Amir Hussain vehemently opposed the words of the learned chief prosecutor terming Sheikh Hasina and Assaduzzahman Kamal as fascist. He also opposed the assertion of the learned chief prosecutor that Sheikh Hasina fled to Delhi due to the commission of the crimes against humanity by the wave of the mass movement.
Style feature, next level, well done. Side by side, free. Smart life দেখো দিচ্ছে ডাক, cooling হবে super fast. বেশি space আর large display, cooking হবে হেসে খেলে। হুটহাট যদি হয় fun party, প্রিয়জন নিয়ে tension free। এক দেখাতেই বলবে সবাই, wow fridge, wow beauty. Style feature, next level, well done. Wow fridge, wow beauty.
ঘর রাঙিয়ে যেতে পারবেন বিশ্বকাপে। ন্যূনতম 40,000 টাকার বার্জার পেইন্টস এর নির্দিষ্ট প্রিমিয়াম প্রোডাক্টস কিনলেই নিশ্চিত ক্যাশব্যাক, সাথে মেগা উপহার। ফিফা ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ 2026 এর ম্যাচ এবং ফ্লাইট টিকেট থাকছে মালয়েশিয়া, থাইল্যান্ড অথবা কক্সবাজারের ফ্লাইট টিকেট। আরো আকর্ষণীয় মেগা উপহার। আজই চলে আসুন নিকটস্থ বার্জার পেইন্টস আউটলেটে। দেরি করলেই কিন্তু গিফট মিস।
Chairman of the tribunal, Mr. Justice Ghulam Murtaza Chaudhary, will read out the final portion of the judgment, including the observation.
Thank you. Thank you. I will start with some matters of judicial notice. And before that, I am sorry that I did not mention the name of learned prosecutor Abdus Subhan, Mr. Abdus Subhan Tarabdar. Sometimes he was found here. I think he remains busy in this tribunal too. Sorry? So, and he was seen sometimes here to assist us. So, our thanks to him as well. We have taken judicial notice of some incidents. Number 1, accused Sheikh Hasina started making contemptuous and hate speeches in the social media subsequent to the July movement 2024, whereupon she was ordered by this tribunal to be restrained from such speeches of contempt and hatred. Secondly, in a telephonic conversation with a party activist named Mr. Shakil, accused Sheikh Hasina, infringing tribunal's order, made some hateful and contemptuous remarks, asking said activist Shakil to kill 226 persons, as 226 cases have been filed against her, and to burn the houses of the rival people, whereupon this tribunal convicted her for contempt of the tribunal and sentenced her to 6 months imprisonment. Another one, the tribunal has further noticed one of her interviews published in the Daily Star a few days ago. The date has not been noted here, in which she impliedly admitted that atrocities had certainly taken place in July movement 2024, but she denied that she ordered to commit such atrocities. It has further been noticed by the tribunal that in another interview with a YouTube channel named Desh Samoy of India, accused Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina admitted her responsibility for the July 24 atrocities in the words, within quotation, as the leader of the country, I assume ultimate leadership responsibility. Furthermore, we have noticed that Sheikh Hasina made an interview with Daily Anandabazar of India on 7 November 25, wherein she admitted her superior command responsibility. So you may find the newspapers. Now I will start with our observations and inference. From the foregoing findings, facts and circumstances, it transpires that the students of Dhaka University and other academic institutions had launched a movement on 1 July 2024 demanding reformation in the quota system in the government jobs and continued the same till 5 August 2024. The government did not pay heed to the demands of the students. Instead of listening to the students and fulfilling their demands, the then Prime Minister, accused Sheikh Hasina, undermined the movement and made a derogatory remark pointing towards the students, terming them Rajakars. The term is an objurgation. In Bangla, this is a gali. In her words, Mukti Joddha Natiputira Chakri pabe na to Rajakarer Natiputira pabe. As the aftermath of aforesaid objurgation and the derogatory remark of accused Sheikh Hasina, the students, including female students who were at the forefront of Dhaka University, burst into a rage and assembled at the Raju Bhaskarya in front of TSC of Dhaka University and vehemently protested against the said objurgation and defamatory words of Sheikh Hasina, and also demanded her apology and withdrawal of the said words. In the night following 14 July 2024, accused Sheikh Hasina held a telephonic conversation with Dhaka University Vice Chancellor A.S.M. Maqsood Kamal, and in course of the conversation, Sheikh Hasina said, রাজাকারদের তো ফাঁসি দিয়েছি, এবার তোদেরও তাই করব, একটাও ছাড়ব না, আমি বলে দিচ্ছি। Rajakars have been hanged, now they also will be hanged, none will be spared, I have already ordered. This is the translation. She again said, রাজাকারদের কি অবস্থা হয়েছে দেখিস নাই, সবগুলোকে ফাঁসি দিছি, এইবার তোদেরও ছাড়ব না। In the said conversation, Sheikh Hasina further said, আমি বলে দিচ্ছি আজকে সহ্য করার পর অ্যারেস্ট করবে, ধরে নেবে এবং যা অ্যাকশন নেওয়ার নেবে। And it is crystal clear that Sheikh Hasina expressed her incitement to the activists of her party Awami League and affiliates Chhatra League and Yuva League, and also gave provocation to the protesters, and furthermore she expressed that she ordered to kill and eliminate the protesting students. The concern
Travel out to my অবসরে কাজে এর ফাঁকে day or night চাকরি খিদে চাকরি Mr. Noodles hot and yummy quick to make ready for eat Mr. Noodles amazing taste Mr. Noodles enjoy the best Mr. Noodles Mr. Noodles
Chhatra League is enough to control the movement. Whereupon the protesting students of Dhaka University burst into anger and vehemently protested against Sheikh Hasina, Ubaidul Qadir and the government. The activists of Chhatra League, Yuva League attacked the protesting students with various deadly weapons and severely injured hundreds of them, whereupon they had to be hospitalized. The attackers impeded the injured students proceeding to the hospital and also impeded their treatment. Moreover, the attackers made further attacks upon the students undergoing treatment in the hospital. In consequence of the above noted incitements of Sheikh Hasina, in the press conference on 14 July 2024, her order to kill them as revealed in her conversation on the following night with Dhaka University Vice Chancellor, and also the provocative and aggressive remark of Awami League Secretary Ubaidul Qadir, the law enforcers and activists of Chhatra League and Yuva League attacked the protesting students at Dhaka University throughout the country, inclusive of Rangpur, Begum Rokeya University. And in furtherance thereof, police shot Begum Rokeya University student Abu Said repeatedly at a close range, whereupon he succumbed to the gunshots. The above mentioned conversation of Sheikh Hasina with the Dhaka University Vice Chancellor S.A.M. Maqsood Kamal has been examined by the experts in the CID Forensic Laboratory, and it appears from the report of the examination that the conversation was genuine and that the same have not been generated by artificial intelligence, AI. The concerned experts deposed in corroboration of the genuineness of the impugned conversation. Furthermore, we find support of such conversation in the reports of daily newspapers. In addition to the above, the concerned CD, pen drive containing the conversations has been played in the courtroom in course of the proceeding, and thereupon the conversation seemed to be genuine. The remarks of Sheikh Hasina in the press conference on 14/7/24 has been watched by many people in the television channel and social media.